Had this amp for over a year, I think now, and haven't managed to get around to doing a video. So thanks for the prompts over the last few days. Wanted to take you through a 79 JMP, maybe an early 1980, but it's definitely an early Marshall. And it has been modified by the legendary Mark Cameron. So firstly, shout outs to Mark. I'm obviously here in Australia. Mark is not. Enormous thanks to Mark for providing some tips and hints and some general thoughts to my tech about what he might have been thinking when he did some mods to this amp. My tech was then able to make sure that everything was working as Mark intended it to. So it's certainly back to 100% after the journey from the States. It's had some other mods done to it too. So this is not anywhere near what a JMP would do or sound like. It's pretty much a really different amp now. So it's been through 2, maybe more cycles of mods. What I do recognise of Mark's is we have a bass sort of pull boost. We've got a mid pull boost, and I'll show you these things in a minute. What is not Mark's is definitely the effects loop. So the effects loop used to have like a Lee Jackson type of effects loop. So you had controllable levels on the sends and returns. I didn't like it, so we've put a Metropolis loop in. So like I said, now it's been through at least 3 sets of mods now, through 3 different amp technicians. But anyway, back to the original point. Mark has done a couple of mods on this. So look, apologies to Mark if I get things wrong, but I think it's the mid boost and possibly the bass boost. But anyway, enough talking, let's have a look. We've got 2 channels, but there's an enormous amount of flexibility in the amp. So we'll start with the clean channel. Hopefully you can see there's a little green light there for the clean channel. So already a bit of gain on the clean channel. What have we got? Sorry, I've got the clean volume turned right up. So we've got a clean volume on the front. Master volume on the back. I'll show you the back in a minute. But I'm going to turn the clean volume all the way up. So again, we've already got a little bit of volume there. There is also strangely something labelled a compressor dial on the back. I'll show you a picture of the back at the moment, and you can see what's going on. There's an enormous amount going on in this amp. So look, there's not much more to say. As you can see, look, none of the knobs change the clean sound. It's what we call a simple clean in the amp business. It's just straight in. I think the first run of the BE100s had a simple clean on it as well, so it's similar to that if you know that sort of thing. Anyway, let's get to the important stuff. The gain channel. The gain channel has all the flexibility. As I said, there's a bunch of knobs and switches on the back, so we'll go through some of those as well. Conveniently, there is a foot switch, but there's also a little handy switch on the back as well if you don't have a foot switch handy. You'll notice the dial has now gone red. So everything's at noon at the moment. Haven't touched anything, haven't turned anything on. It's already, sounding really good. What we do have is a preamp drive, which I think is sort of like an input drive type of thing, so I'll show you that. So that's all the way off. And that's all the way on. So I tend to leave it at sort of 1 or 2 o'clock. Like any sort of preamp gain, personally I find around about sort of 2 o'clock is where it really starts to come to life. So that's where I tend to leave it. We do actually have volumes on the front as well. So we have a master volume. And strangely, we also have a preamp volume. So you can see there's a lot going on here. All right, then we've got the treble control. So obviously notoriously Marshall-y and gets a little bit bright in the top end. Now this thing is labelled pull for plexi. I have no idea what that does. I suspect it might have something to do with the clean channel, but we'll check that out a little bit later. I'm not noticing a whole lot of difference. So I tend to leave that one alone. The fun and the difference really happens in the mids and the bass. So. And again, we've got a mid shift. And that's definitely happening there, really nice. We've got a bass boost, and there is a bass voicing switch on the back, which will affect where that boost happens, either bass, low mids, or high mids, I think it is from memory. So anyway, bass is at 12 o'clock. Come back to that in a minute. Finally, the good old presence control. We all know what that does. I tend to leave it around about 6 or 7, sort of about 1 or 2 o'clock. So yeah, that's the dirty channel, but like I said, we're only sort of halfway through it at the moment. So on the back, we have a gain structure switch. So at the moment, it's in the middle position. Hopefully you can hear it flicking through there. So I'm going to turn it up. We'll see what that does. You can definitely hear there's definitely a lot more gain. I'll go down. So yeah, a lot of gain on that. What else have we got? We got the bass boost. Yes, we need to talk about the bass boost. So the bass boost has a knob which will determine the level of the boost. So when you pull the bass boost out here, really all that's doing is activating the boost. Of course, the bass knob just does the bass. But the boost effect, how much of the boost effect you actually want, is controlled by a knob on the back. And then you've also got a three-way switch to voice the bass boost. So again, just flexibility is ridiculous. We are currently in low mids. I'm going to turn the boost all the way up so you can hear it. Firstly, I'll turn the bass boost off, and again, we'll just go through it. Okay, let's turn it on. And what else have we got? We've then got high mids, I think this one is. Yeah, it definitely sounds like it doesn't get quite as flubby as the other one. And the final switch is bass, I think. So yeah, the first one must have been low mids, so this is bass. What else do we have? We do have a 50 watt, 100 watt switch, but I won't muck around with that. So anyway, there we go. 79 JMP, modified by Mark Cameron and a few other people, but yeah, it really sounds ridiculous.